Hi, Alexia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ranjeet? Good morning.
Good morning. So, what we have today?
Well, today we are going to answer some questions from our Facebook discussion board that we've had. Just some students have some couple questions that we want to get answered today. So I just want to ask you just a couple so that way we can get those answered for the students.
Absolutely. Let's shoot.
Perfect. Well, the first question that we have on the discussion board today is from Sabash. He said, "Hello, all. I'm a senior manager executive at an EB1A, looking at the possibilities to move to EB1 based on my career track record and expertise in energy and utilities industry. Do you have any suggestions for Shabash on how to mitigate this?"
Absolutely. Subhash, you have said that you are, EB2 and possibilities to move to EB1. I mean, I would just like to correct this that it is not about just moving to EB1. EB1 is a completely a different category altogether. In fact, for that matter, I don't even suggest you look at EB1A as being as a category by itself or a green card. It's basically you need to be excelling in your field, and once you excel in your field, you tell that, okay, fine, the US government that, basically applying for EB1A is akin to like this, Subhash. You are telling essentially your White House that, look, here I am Subhash, I'm expert in so and so field, let's say energy and utilities field or something more niche that needs to be carved out, and this is what I bring on the table for the United States and how US will benefit out of it. I know there are 1.5 million people waiting for the green card. I'm the best because this is what I can contribute to the United States, and I'm applying under EB1A. So please give me a green card and write on the green card that I'm a person of extraordinary ability, and that's what the green card states. That's the kind of tonality, mindset, and if I may use the word aggression, that needs to be there during your application. Actually, when you're talking about EB1A green card, so you need to be best in your field. Now, energies, coming back to this, your discipline, energy and utility industry, it's very, very broad. You need to kind of do a lot of, if again I may say something akin to like soul searching to kind of carve out your niche and then proceed further. That will be the best way, I would say, to for you to proceed, rather than trying to do something in a very ad hoc manner. Then you're likely to get RFE if you do that actually here. So this is what my message to Subhash.
Awesome. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get into the second question that we have on our discussion board for today. It's from an anonymous member, but they asked, I got my I-140 approved under EB1A on February 2nd of 2004. I have a priority date of September 2025 for my previous I-140.
Is it September 25 or it will be 15?
September 2015 for my previous I-140 that I can use. I'm currently waiting for the medical test and submitting an I-485. What are the next steps involved after submitting an I-485 application, and what is the timeline to get my green card? Can anyone share their experiences, please?
Oh, wonderful. I think congratulations, for getting your green card. It's a wonderful achievement. So you have proved your mettle, you have done everything. 485 is the last leg before you actually get your green card. You have to apply for the green card because I-140 essentially means that your petition has been approved. Now, to proceed further, I think you may get a green card immediately, like many of our students have got. Even I, when I had applied, I got it directly actually. Or otherwise, you may get something called as EAD, which is Employment Authorization Document. It may should come to you if all documents and everything are fine. It should come to you immediately, depending on the processing times of the center where it has been sent. You can go to USCIS site and look at the timelines and wait time for each of the forms that are being filled up, and you will get the exact idea how much time it should be getting. So congratulations once again.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and get into our third question, and this is from Sam. He asked, what is the criteria for leading or critical roles? If someone has research papers and patents, how does it, and what is the criteria for it to be useful?
So there are two questions I can see, Alexia, here.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Sam, right?
Yes, this is from Sam.
Absolutely. Now the two questions are: if what is the criteria for leading in critical roles? So there are two distinct ideas. It is self-explanatory. Uh, what is the leading role that you have done in an organization for the organization that you are working for? There is one more thing. It is not just leading or critical role in a distinguished organization. So there is a three elements to it. One is a leading, second is critical, it is a role, and distinguished organization. So there are four components attached to it. You have to break down each one of them. Leading means you have led something in an organization that has benefited. So you have to kind of devise certain metrics. You led a project, that led thousands of dollars of benefit to the people, to the company, or to your clients. How it was done, what was the reason why you were chosen, um, what is your meritorious disposition for what it is there. If it is a critical role, you may not have a leadership position, but still you played a very critical role. You were part of a team. Still, that is very important. But most important thing is that it should be part of distinguished organization. I would like to add further here that distinguished organization doesn't mean that it should be, Fortune 500 company or something. It could be distinguished by virtue of the work that the company also does. It could, sometimes we have seen that it could even be a startup to a large extent. Even that can serve the purpose as well.
Mm-hmm.
So one has to do it. And another important aspect last year, or it was last year, I think, uh, there was a kind of a policy manual change actually in USCIS, wherein they even mentioned that even it need not be a distinguished organization when the leading or critical role in a distinguished organization for a entire organization. It could be for a division also actually. So yes, this is a very important criteria, and but you navigating through it is very important when you are considering for EB1A purposes. And the second question, Sam, that you have asked is research papers and patents. Okay, let's take a step back here. That when we talk of EB1A, your work by default does not qualify you for EB1A. You may have 20 years of experience, you may have a PhD for that matter. It does not automatically qualify you for EB1A, or for that matter, even if you have patents. You see, the key ingredient in my understanding, which is about EB1A, is what is the impact factor of your work that you have done.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important. If you see, our work that we do and the knowledge that you gain by your qualification is only a leverage to undertake or demonstrate that impact factor. So there are three dimensions to it. Number one is your learning quantum. Are you at a knowledge level? Are you just as an information level? Are you data? Are you just skilled? For example, being best Excel user in the world is not going to qualify you for EB1A. You need to be at something at a knowledge spectrum. Second is that what kind of progressive experience you have. Now these two are leverages to demonstrate your impact factor of your work that can benefit you for the EB1A actually here. So that is one. Patent, similarly, to going by this, even if you have a patent, by itself, it is not going to add any value unless and until the patent has some utility. So for that matter, if you are following a particular process that has led to some positive outcome for the company or something, that may give you a positive thing. Otherwise, it is just a patent for the sake of patent, or research paper for the sake of research paper. If it has been no utility value, does not stand any test establishing your meritorious disposition. I hope that helps.
Yes, I think that was a great answer. Thank you so much for answering that in depth. So the next question I have for you is a great question as well. It's a little bit longer. It's from another anonymous member. So the question is, I have been working for my organization for 16 plus years and have done multiple critical roles and an original contribution as well. Often that involved working with the same, VP, biz leaders. Can I ask that same person to give me multiple LORs, letters of recommendations, for different critical roles I played while working in his team? That's the first part of the question. The second part is, I also plan.
Let us take one question at a time, Alexia. So you're talking about 16 plus years of experience, and I have done multiple critical roles and original contribution. Now, please, I think let's be mindful of one fact. that an original contribution, in my view, is one of the most difficult criteria to be fulfilled. Not because it's difficult to do some original contribution, but also it is the most misunderstood criteria. One of the most essential ingredients is that original contribution is not what you perceive or what your organization perceives as original contribution. Original contribution has to be towards, if you read the full sentence in the evidence requirement for EB1A as per USCS side, it speaks about original contribution to the field. So that is the most important thing. It's not original contribution to a company or what you and I may perceive what I have done as original contribution as. It has to be the discipline itself. So that's the first most important thing.
Mhm.
But since the letter is, this question is pertaining to more of a letter than an original or than original contribution, we will take up that other time. But for critical roles, if you have been working only with one person and you have multiple critical roles, uh, and if that person has been also their part for 16 plus years, that's what I'm assuming here in this case. Yes, you can do that. Actually, you can do that, and if the person has been responsible and accountable. But in this case, I would also get some additional evidences that you were part of an or that organization. Maybe your appointment letter and other aspects will also be helpful in this particular case. So it's a simple question, but the answer to that may not be you know as clean as what you are saying, because I'm concerned about the original contribution aspect of it. You are assuming that what you have contributed to the company is the original contribution, which need not be so. There is of course a way in which how you can manifest your contribution to the company as original contribution, but as to the field, but that's a different discussion altogether. So, and what's the second part of the question, Alexia?
Perfect. Yeah, the second part is I also plan to get LORs, so letters of recommendation, from other seniors as well, but he is the top key person for at least one original contribution and at least two other critical roles. Will my evidence be diluted if there are multiple LORs from the same person, although for different work or roles?
Okay, now let's take a step back here. Again, we are talking about original contribution here. Um Original contribution, you are assuming that it is again from the person who worked with you, which could be detrimental to your case because that need not be an original contribution what you are thinking. So that's the first kind of feedback that I would have. Now your second part of the question comes is that if you get LOR from other seniors as well, uh, getting one letter would not kind of be counterproductive for your case, as long as it's actually a critical role that you have played, somebody who is kind of privy to your role. But please understand, again taking a step back, letter of recommendations by itself won't qualify you for EB1A unless an established evidence is produced. For example, if you say that you contribute towards the sale of a business, the sales reports will be more valuable than just a mere letter. If you say that a company got some contracts because of you, the copy of the contracts, uh, along with some kind of a press report or something that may be establishing your name or something, or you would have done, would matter a lot. So evidences play a very important role than just mere letters, I would say that actually. So its question is much deeper than what you are sensing it to be. So that's what I would say that.
Perfect. Well, great question, students. And thank you for answering that question, Ranjeet. So the next question I have for you is another two-part question. For context, a little bit, it says from another anonymous member, my proposals have been accepted at reputable tech conferences, and I will be presenting my work to a wider audience. I'm waiting to hear back from a few other conferences and applying to more. The first question I have is, do these help in getting matched with any of the EB1A?
Okay. Um, if I just recap the question for the benefit of everybody, your proposal has been accepted at a reputable tech conference. So congratulations for that, and you are presenting your work. Now, first, if you want to use it for the purpose of EB1A, please understand that if it's your work, you would need to kind of deliberate and kind of show evidence that how that work was produced and what is the work. So it could be a form of a patent, it could be form of a book, it could be kind of a process, it could, if you're working with software, some kind of a coding, something that is originally yours, and it is originally yours, you have to demonstrate. Second, you are presenting it. So who are the, when you talk of things like this, it's a very delicate way of presenting. So you need to put all your, need to do all your homework and put all evidences in order. So your conference, who is organizing these conferences, who were the participants, for whom it is, whether it is online or in person. So you will need to put all the aspects in right perspective. So if you do that, definitely you can use it for your EB1A actually. So
Perfect.
I would say positively, yes.
Awesome. So the last question that I have for you, which is the second part of this context that we had, is what kind of evidence should I gather from each of these conferences that would be help or would help when applying for my petition?
Okay. Uh, exactly what I said. The first is that you need to demonstrate that the work product that you have done and that is being displayed is yours. So there would be separate set of letters. What is that work? How it is beneficial? So it has the originality of the work will have to be there. That's number one. Number two, when we talk of conference, what kind of conference it is, where it is, in person, or whether it was online, who were the audience? If you have a video recording of that or the speech that you gave, can you have a copy of that? Letter of invitations, if there is a thank you letter, all these aspects, everything that you can kind of connect together, demonstrating that it was your work, number one. Number two, it was done, actually executed, not that you are just invited. Here another challenge what we face, Alexia, is many people ask us that, okay, fine, I have been invited, can I use that? It cannot be on a prospective basis. The event should have happened before any act or initiative, the work should have been done. It is very difficult to kind of establish your expertise by virtue of something that you haven't done.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's how I think I would like to respond to this actually. So thank
Perfect.
you very much, Alexia, for having me today.
Yeah, Ranjeet, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate you answering these questions on behalf of the students.
Wonderful. And I would just like to talk to all the viewers that, at the end, if you are interested to know more about EB1A, want to join, you can reach out to us. There will be a link provided below. So we are happy to help you for your EB1A journeys, and keep up all your good work and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.